The ninth largest country in the world, the Republic of Kazakhstan, which is stretched in the center of the Eurasian continent, has incredibly rich nature. More than half of its territory is covered by the hot deserts and semi-deserts. At the north, it is dominated by steppe and forest steppe, and the east of the country is filled with mountains, taiga, steppe, and semi-desert landscapes. Of all the protected areas in Kazakhstan, 10 of them are reservations, 11 are the national parks, and 5 others are considered to be wildlife reserves, and all of them are state-owned. These environmental institutions were created in order to preserve unique ecosystems, rare animals, birds, and plants. The Bayanaul National Park was the first national park founded in 1985 in Pavlodar region, which is a special pride, Argali or Arhar, which is listed in the Red Book as a rare and endangered animal species in need of protection. Protected areas are of a scientific interest because an ecosystem is not significantly altered by human activity. Let's divide conditionally the immense territory of Kazakhstan into 4 pieces and go on a journey. South Kazakhstan, where the peaks of mountainous country of Tanshan are standing so high that they can almost reach the sky. This land is rich in forests, swift cold rivers that originate in glaciers under the very heavens, and blue lakes. Only in Almaty region there are 5 state national natural parks: Ili Alatau, Cherin, Altan-Yemel, Zhangara-Alatau, and Kolsai Lake. So let's travel to the places where nature is almost untouched by man. The national reserves are either prohibited or severely restricted by excursions along the particular ecological paths, so you can meet wild animals. Scientists who continually have been observing the inhabitants of the highlands were able to see the most secretive animal, the snow leopard. The specific type of leopard easily walks in the snow of the Himalayas, Tibet, Pamir, Altai, and Tanshan, hunting for mountain goats. Snow leopard, or ibis, is considered as an endangered species and is listed in the Red Book.
Это животное интересное своими повадками.
This animal is interesting for its habits, lifestyle. He is the top of the food chain, the king of the mountains. That is the most important beast of prey. He is not afraid of anyone, however, is very discreet. Very few lucky ones who manage to see it firsthand. Officially, it is in the Red Book. Then you can feel the 3rd category of the Red Book of Kazakhstan, the category of threatened species in the International Red List, but unofficially it means that it's very rare. Mountain lakes are trapped in the gorges, since most of them originated in dams. 3 Kolsai lakes dazzle the eye of the traveler. In the mountain rivers and lakes, there are trout and osman. Now let's go to the highest peak of Trans-Ili Alatau, the Dalgarsky mountain site. You can see the brown bear in Almaty Reserve. This animal, a brown bear, prefers a windbreak and often descends into the bushes of raspberry. The flora of Kazakhstan has up to 6,000 plant species, of which about 700 species are endemic and are listed in the Red Book. 400 species and more than half of them are protected in nature reserves and national parks. There are serious monotypic endemic plant species that possess a unique gene pool.
Интересны высокогорные виды, произрастающие у верхней границы жизни. Это сосюрея.
Interesting alpine species growing at the upper limit of this life. Sosurea is wrapped about 3,500 meters on the edge of the glaciers on the moraines. It is stored on the territory of Almaty Reserve and Ili Alatau National Park. In the upper reaches of the glacier Tuyuksu and its vicinity, on the moraines, you can find an interesting unique plant, Pasternakovny glacial. This is also monotypic endemic, inconspicuous plant that grows at the height of 3,500 meters, which is a unique environment. It is important to keep the species of wild fruit trees, which gave the world many cultivars.
Вот дикоплодовые леса из яблони сиверса и абрикоса обыкновенного на территории
Wild fruit forest of Siver's apple and apricot on the territory of Almaty Reserve, Ili Alatau National Park, the newly created Zhingar Alatau Park attracted the attention of scientists around the world because it's a unique gene pool from which all varieties of apples were cultivated. Now we are traveling to the National Park of Altyn-Yamel in the valley of Almaty region. The park is protected by natural systems, archaeological, historical, and cultural monuments, rare endangered species of animals and plants. The park is famous for singing sand dunes, which in wet weather make sounds like organ, by its burial grounds Bashatir, by its Aktau, clay mountains, and volcanic mountains Katutau. Argali, Chigitai, and Gazelle are listed in the Red Book. On the territory of Charin National Park, there is a monument of nature as Charin Ash Cottage, where relic Paleogene Sogdian ash grows. Charin Canyon is called the Valley of Castles. This object reflects the geomorphological processes and relief formation, both of a particular value for recreation. Zhingar Alatau State National Park was created in order to preserve biodiversity, including globally important gene pool of wild fruit forests, which focuses on the restoration of apple forests and natural mountain landscapes. It is home to endemic Zhingar Alatau rare salamanders, the Central Asian salamander, which is included in the Red List of the International Union for Conservation of Nature as a species threatened with extinction.
Он интересен тем, что прежде всего является представителем.
It is interesting that it's representative of a very ancient family of amphibians, which appeared 250 million years ago in the Paleozoic, and still modern salamander differs very little from its ancestors. Central Asian frog, just like Siberian salamander, is endemic, but it's spread a little wider, found in the mountain and foothill in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and China. Both species are listed in the Red Book of Kazakhstan.
И основными факторами
The main factors that negatively affect their distribution and abundance are regional climate changes, particularly warming, economic and human activities, including direct withdrawal from nature, and because the Central Asian salamander and frog are used in non-traditional Chinese and Uyghur medicine. In the northern part of the western Tanshan, there is Sairamagam State National Park. It is home to an endemic of the western Tanshan, marmot mensbira. In the northwestern Tanshan Arcs, there is Karatau Nature Reserve, where there are 3 species of mammals included in the Red Book of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The first state natural reserve was Kazakhstan Aksu-Zhabagli, at the western tip of Talas Alatau mountain range. Its emblem is a tulip grape.
у нас в Казахстане 40 видов тюльпанов, из них 18...
Kazakhstan has 40 species of tulips, of which 18 are listed as endangered, and 3 species that were the sources of hundreds of cultivars. It is the grape tulip, which is protected in the nature reserve of Aksu-Zhabagli, Karatau Nature Reserve, and Sairamagam National Park. This is a Kaufman tulip. It also grows in the western Tanshan, and this is a shrink tulip, which is a representative of the vast Kazakhstan steppes. Its unique populations are stored in Narzum Reserve in Kyrgyzstan. Alakol State Nature Reserve was established in order to preserve natural systems, flora and fauna of the river Tentek. Let's fast forward to the east of Kazakhstan, where most of the territory is occupied by mountain ranges of Ur and southern Altai, Kalba, Saur-Tarbagatai, and where you can see the Great Beluga, which is 4,506 meters in height. Grassland, steppes, large taiga, mountain coniferous forests, thickets of pine, elfin-wood, subalpine and alpine meadows, rocky tundra are protected in Markokolsky Reserve. It is home to many birds and animals, and in the waters of Markokol, Lake Grelin, Char, Gudjan, and Lake Uskuch are found. West Altai Reserve protects unique entities. granite outcrops of Linnaeus protein, an original geological monument of antiquity. In Katon-Karagai Natural Park, there are species listed in the Red Book of Kazakhstan: Bordiola rosea, Raponticum carthamoides, Rhubarb altai, Strider snow, Anthrax altai, Iris Ludwig preserved. Boratau Park in the northern parts of the country was created to preserve the unique steppe ecosystems of dry steppes, relic black elder and birch groves. Borovoy Forest, where the pine trees are predominant, many species of plants including 95 rare and endangered species are protected. In the Red Book, birds such as an eagle, owl, golden eagle, gray crane and burial are listed. Naurzum and Krolgodzinski natural reserves are included in the UNESCO World Heritage List as part of the project Sararka Steppe and Lakes of Kazakhstan. Krolgodzinsk is not far from the capital Astana and created to preserve wetlands, home to flamingos, the Dalmatian pelican, and other birds. Wetlands of Tengiz-Krolgodzin system of lakes is included in the Ramsar list. Lake Tengiz became a unique international network of reservoirs, living lakes. Naurzum system includes fresh and salt lakes with the surrounding flood grass meadows and halophytic communities, as well as a unique Naurzum forest. Bayanaul Natural Park is called Mountain Forest Oasis in the Desert Steppe. Bayanaul Mountains, which are bizarrely rugged with rains and winds, are crowned with pines and birches. The National Park of Kokshetau, there are 13 protected natural monuments of national importance. Its hills, waterfalls, caves, island lake Imantau, and relict array. A special feature flora at Karkarla Park, which is dominated by pine, birch, aspen, and juniper, are relict plants of Ice Age. Barberry of Karkolinsk and moss sphagnum are listed as endangered plants. In the west of the country, in the Aral-Caspian watershed, there is Usturt Reserve. Here, the gravely rocky plateau Usturt stands graciously, and the main object of the reserve is the Etosha Kinderlis Sor area of over 50,000 hectares. A gray lizard is included in the Red Book. Among the rare animals and birds that inhabit these places are Usturt mouflon, hedgehog, gazelle, caracal, golden eagle, serpent eagle, and neophron. Many birds of prey are listed in the Red Book.
В природе все настолько тонко, все эти нити связаны, любое вмешательство, иногда даже...
In nature, everything is so fragile. All these threads are connected. Any interference is dangerous. Sometimes people did not plan to do anything against the birds, but its activities may affect not directly but through food chains. This means food or habitat are violated and the birds disappear. This, for example, ibis-bill that inhabits rivers, gravel, mountains, we know of habitats with a maximum of 150 to 100 pairs. Barsakhelmes Reserve is located in the northwestern part of the Aral Sea. The most valuable and protected animals here are ungulates, saiga antelopes, gazelle, and kula, adapted to the harsh desert conditions of the island and have become the main components of biological nature.
В современном мире очень много внимания уделяется охране природы.
In today's world, a lot of attention is paid to the protection of nature, the national parks, nature reserves. Here in Kazakhstan, over the last few years, a lot has been organized. For example, new protected areas, and of course, it has a positive effect on the birds, because the disturbance in any case leads to disappearance. But in such places like reserves, there is an increase of many rare species. Reserves and national parks are research, environmental, and educational institutions. They are designed to protect the ecological system, the gene pool of plants and animals. They remind people of the importance of the ecosystem approach to nature. We need to treat it not as a source of raw materials, but as the cradle in which all of us were born.